Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Talk Yards. I'm your host, Max, and here's your host, Will. We are back after probably a boring week because Dallas Cowboys weren't playing. So no one cares about American football if the Dallas Cowboys aren't playing, though they will.
Yeah, America's team no longer playing, so America was bored.
Yeah.
For the entire week, yeah? Is that right?
They're not people's butts of memes or no one secretly that everyone supports. But we had your team picking up a win.
Barely,
yes, against your other favourite team in the league.
Picking up a win.
The Raiders. They must have been quite conflicting for you, to be honest.
Well, I mean, I do have a bit of a, I guess you'd say, not obsession.
Crush.
But I do like John Gruden.
Because he's a dick.
I like his coaching style because he is a dick. Because he's a dick.
You need to get a t-shirt with that on, bro.
John Gruden's a dick.
Swear that's your catchphrase on this podcast.
I do like him. I'm not sure if any of our listeners have watched Hard Knocks, but it's pretty good. Actually, like it gives you a bit more of a light into how NFL teams work and what goes on behind the scenes and how many people are actually involved in one team. Like I know they get cut down to 53 men rosters, but the amount of people they have on practice squads, you know, it's actually quite interesting to watch.
Yeah. At one point they'll have like hundreds of people.
Yeah, they'll have literally hundreds of people just sort of on a field, and they'll have guys in, you know, gyms working out. They'll have 100 people on the field, 50 guys in the gym. Yeah, it's insane, and the amount of money in it is crazy. But anyway, Hard Knocks is pretty good if you give it a watch. Watch the 2015 one because Houston are on it. Yeah, it's pretty good actually. You get Brian Cushing and JJ Watt come out with some pretty good quotes. No,
I'd give it.
He's calling me out blue.
If it was down to me, everyone would be watching being Dallas Cowboys on.
Yeah, but Amazon Prime, that's like the B-Tech version. It's like Last Chance U is good, Hard Knocks is good, and anything other is just B-Tech.
You wouldn't be saying that of Houston Texans had a deal with Amazon Prime.
Because Amazon Prime was sort of new to the game and they didn't do it very well. Anywho, so given the Dallas had they took an L on the bye week. We're going to move on to.
Oh, I don't know actually. 1 second, hang on. If I'm going to have one thing, we got Michael Bennett in a trade.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that actually. I saw that on the NFL Instagram.
6th and 7th round.
Yeah.
People aren't a bit happy because apparently he's a bit of a.
He's a bit of a loudmouth.
Yeah, he's a bit of hard work.
I like him. I think he's quite a good player, but I do understand why people don't like him because he is a bit of he's hard to deal with on and off the field. He's a big personality.
The only thing that is a problem is if he ruins the locker room, but other than that, it's basically a free look at someone that's a proven pass rusher in this league.
He is a really, really good player, and he's been consistent. He's old, but he's been consistent for a very long time.
Exactly.
And I think I don't know. I think Dallas needs a bit of wisdom.
But that's the question. Does he have the wisdom?
That's a question. That's a thought-provoking.
That is a pondering one going into your Texans review now, Will.
A thought-provoking podcast this is today.
It is.
But anyway, so we'll move on swiftly to Houston's narrow win against the Raiders, and it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been. Houston were playing actually quite well. So Deshaun Watson had quite a good game actually. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
he had a few standout plays.
Some highlight plays.
Highlight plays.
Yeah.
27 over 39, 279 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He rushed for 46 yards. With an average of 4.6 per attempt. Not bad.
No.
He had probably the standout play of the week was he got kicked in the eye on a play as he was being sacked. Managed to somehow scramble out, throw the ball to Fells to score.
Yeah, that was a good play.
That was a good play. And he got kicked in the eye.
Jesus.
And I'm not sure if anyone's seen, but there's a picture.
I'm presuming that was after the play, as in he didn't get karate kicked in the face.
No, he got kicked in the face during the play.
What?
So I'll show you it after the podcast. But he literally, so he was scrambling. He scrambled right. Some guy, I'm not sure who it was. Someone grabbed his leg.
Yeah.
He then sort of did a 360 turn, did a whole Hopkins tornado move, went pulled back to the right again. Someone kicked him in the eye. He readjusted his helmet, threw the ball blind because his helmet was blocking his eye that he got kicked in. Yeah. Threw the ball blind to Fells, and Fells caught it for a touchdown. To be fair, Fells was wide open. He had a corner, maybe. I'm not sure who it was. I only saw it briefly. He only, I think the corner maybe like 2 meters back, something like that. But anyway, it was pretty mad. And there's a picture afterwards of sort of Deshaun Watson laughing on the floor as there's like maybe 15 or 20 medics surrounding him, and he's got his thumbs up on the floor. So that's pretty. I suppose that just shows the sort of mentality that Deshaun Watson has.
If Deshaun Watson goes down, then your season goes down.
No, not necessarily. I mean, when he tore his ACL, we didn't exactly have a bad season afterwards. It wasn't good, but it wasn't exactly that bad.
I think if you don't get to the championship game, your season's been a failure, personally.
Yeah.
Unless you're a team that isn't really expected to get that far.
I think we will. I personally think that we will get that far. But that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Houston won 27 over 24. Again, we shouldn't have been that close. I'm not going to lie. I was watching it. Oh, I was actually a lie. I wasn't watching it. I was constantly updating it on my phone because I was out on Sunday.
Ooh.
But
party time.
But yeah, so Darren Fells had 2 receiving touchdowns for 58 yards. Hopkins was back in the 100 gang.
Oh.
109 yards, 11 receptions, 13 targets.
Oh, well, that's, I mean, when you said he's back in the 100 gang, I know 109 is, but it's not.
Well, I'm not going to lie, it's better than his previous ones of 48 and 59 and 22, whatever the hell it is.
That is true.
So, I don't know what it is with him this season. I'm not sure what it is.
Is he washed up, Will?
No, he's not that old.
Is DeAndre Hopkins washed up?
He's been in the season, he's been in the game, 5 seasons? That's not old for a receiver. Think of Larry Fitzgerald, he's still making ridiculous plays. Yes, he's not as good. Yes, he's as fast, or he's not doing the crazy plays he was when he was younger. But still, he's still a standout player.
Maybe DeAndre Hopkins has got the lifespan of a running back.
I hope not.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, Hopkins is back in the game. Carlos Hyde fumbled. Our running game, I don't know. I think we seem to be a bit mediocre this season, and I'm not entirely sure that I like it.
Well, you have got a mixture of average running backs, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I think some of the stuff I've seen, I think, especially Hyde, I think he's performing above what. He's never really done that well. He had one good season for the 49ers, I think, but.
He was with the Browns, wasn't he, as well?
Yeah.
He didn't do much in the Browns.
So, what you're getting out of him, to be fair, is decent.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Duke Johnson's not the best either.
No, and
but he's all right too. He's doing all right, I think. So
yeah, I mean, we've never had a proper standout running back other than Arian Foster.
No.
And as soon as he got injured, he just went to shit.
No.
As much as I don't like to say that, I did like him as a running back, but he was just again another small, agile running back that we've seen hundreds of times in the league.
Yeah.
So it's nothing exactly crazy, but he did put up some crazy stats. But we were talking about earlier in the season about how Texans sort of were forcing fumbles and creating turnovers. We've stopped doing that this season, and I don't really know why. We've had no sacks, a couple of tackle for losses, a few passes defended. That's mediocre stats against a mediocre Oakland offense.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not very impressed with our defense so far because, well, I say so far from the start of the season we were putting up. I mean, we forced 5 fumbles or 4 fumbles in a game, 4 turnovers in a game, and we won. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That sort of playmaking creates opportunity to score points, and when we aren't doing that, and when we aren't continuing and being consistent, do you know what I mean? It just sort of. I don't know, it just sort of dampens the spirit. And I think because the secondary has been awful, granted it is getting better, but it's nowhere near as good as it should be. I think the secondary is almost sort of demoralising the rest of the defence. And obviously the other big news of the week is JJ Watt is injured.
Is he out for the season?
Well, he said himself out for the season, but he had a torn pectoral. He had surgery the Monday after, and it all went sweet. Nothing, there's no accidents in surgery. So from what he said on Twitter and Instagram, he is fine, as in, he's not actually like permanently injured, but he said for himself he's out for the season, whereas the Texans have released statements saying he's just out. So I'm not sure whether JJ Watt is sort of putting quits.
Is that big? Is it big? Or
I think it's big. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He is our franchise player.
Yeah, but I
mean, Deshaun Watson,
even though he hasn't been playing like that, to be fair, like
he hasn't been putting up the numbers that he should be.
But it does help to have someone there that is capable of.
But people are scared of him. People are scared of him.
Yeah.
They see 99 across the street, and he's what is he, 6'6", 200 and ridiculous pounds.
He's a monster.
He's just an absolute beast. When you see him across the line from you, you're not exactly going to go, oh yeah, I'm going to try and face up against him, are you?
Well, unless you're Tyron Smith.
Unless you're Tyron Smith, and then you just hurdle people. But yeah, so I think the game was a bit of a washout. 27-24. We've never had a standout win other than the one game. Every single game this season, other than the one where we won 55 or whatever it was, 14 against the Titans, I think it was. That was so all of the 7 games other than that one has been in close of 1 point game. So one score game.
Yeah,
so one score game.
Possessions.
So one score would have meant that we'd lost. And I'm not being funny. That's not a way to win this season. That's not a way to win games. You want to win games indefinitely, and you want to win games by a large enough margin that you're safe to, allow a few points.
Yeah, I mean, Oakland have been up and down as well.
Yeah, they've been up and down this year. I think.
But as I said last week, I don't know who they were against last week, but they get. It might have been the Green Bay actually, and they got beat quite heavily. But I said they actually didn't play that badly. Like they scored, I think they lost 42-21. But you watch Derek Carr play. I don't actually think Derek Carr's bad. Like there was a season.
He's not bad.
There was a season where Derek Carr was slinging
good.
it.
That was the season Oakland were on the road to the playoffs, and Derek Carr got injured week before Texans game, and we smashed them in the wild card round, I think. Yeah, and then we got to the AFC Championship against the Patriots, and we lost 33-15 or something like that. But Derek Carr threw 18 over 30, 285 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's not bad.
No.
That's similar stats to Deshaun Watson. It's not no different, really. Josh Jacobs, I'm not being funny, 66 yards, 15 attempts.
Yeah.
4.4 average. Deshaun Watson's got a higher average than that.
Yeah.
I know stats don't mean anything. I think we do on this show. We do talk about stats too much.
To be fair, the 4.4 yards as a stat itself isn't actually quite bad because if you think about it, if you're averaging 4.4, that means that every time you're running, you're getting a first down. If you just carry on running with that guy, you're getting a first down.
Yeah, but you're putting it in a mathematical point of view, whereas that's not how it works, is it? But Josh Jacobs, we were talking about him as Rookie of the Year. Is he?
Yeah. I think he
You think he is? What, when he's putting up 66 yards against the defence that is allowing incredible points to be scored against us?
Yeah, but I think that's mainly due to your secondary. And
it's our secondary, but we had no
big
sacks.
Play against the guy, a wide receiver that hasn't scored a touchdown in this league yet.
True.
Renfro or whatever it was called.
Yeah, Renfro. But we had no sacks, had maybe 3 tackle for losses, maybe 5 points passes defended. Do you know what I mean? That is awful defensive stats.
Yeah.
And awful defensive play. So, I don't know. I just think that as a running back, as a rookie running back that's in contention for Rookie of the Year, he should have been putting up higher stats than that against our defense.
Maybe.
I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe but as well, you don't know whether the Texans maybe schemed to stop that.
Maybe. Maybe they did.
And to be fair, if I was a coach of an NFL team and I was against the Texans, I don't think I'd ever run. I'd just be slinging it because your secondaries.
Yeah, and I think they did sling it because Hunter Renfrew got his first touchdown of the season, and it was a blinder. It was
poor tackling though.
It was a blinder of. As I say blinder, I mean blinder on defense. We literally let him through.
Yeah.
And
I don't know who missed the tackle as well.
I think it was Reed.
Yeah, I think he had dreadlocks. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, but it's not good. Our secondary and defense need to need a kick up their ass. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, and as well, like I noticed. I mean, I think you gave up 3 sacks, but then just in general, it felt like Deshaun Watson was under pressure a lot.
He was under pressure a lot, and I think when our O-line plays against poor to mediocre D-line, they get a lot of confidence behind them, because I think, was it 2 games in a row we didn't let up any sacks? And then literally the game after we let up like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And I think the season before we were the highest. Our O-line was, I think it was ranked the worst, because they let up, I think it was something like ridiculous. I honestly can't remember the stat, but it was something stupid. We let up a lot of sacks. It was bad. But yeah, so the things to take away from the Texans-Oakland game was poor secondary, poor defense. Deshaun Watson under pressure a lot. Our O-line needs a lot of fixing. Rushing is not too bad. Receiving, it's as it was. I think our receiving level has stayed consistent throughout the year, but Deshaun Watson, I think, is, I think he is dragging the team along a little bit, and I don't want to say that.
No, that 100%.
He's dragging the team on a little bit, but
I think a lot of it.
But we've got the Jags next week, which is in London.
Yeah.
So for the Texans fans over in Houston, they're going to be up at 8:30 in the morning.
Nice.
And if they want to tailgate, they're going to be drinking, I'd say, from 5:30 in the morning.
Hey, that's what everyone else is going to be doing today on Halloween.
Oh yeah, true. Halloween, yeah. But yeah, so Houston at Jacksonville at Wembley, I am attending.
Are you going to do anything? Are you going to film stuff?
Well, I was going to film, and I looked online at the NFL regulations for what you can bring in a stadium, and you can literally bring nothing in.
What?
You have to have a clear plastic. I mean, it's been the same through last year, and every single year I've been, it's been the same. But I think that this year they're up in their game a little bit. You have to have things in like clear plastic bags. You can't have any like high zoom lenses. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to bring my camera in and film.
What?
Which is a bit disappointing.
That is.
But I think I might just do it on my phone.
Yeah, you do some stuff on your phone.
My phone isn't that great. I had the same phone for about 3 years. There's an iPhone 6S. But I might make a little video.
Yeah.
Put it on the little yards, make a little...
That's what I was going to say. Maybe you do like just a little vlog.
I could do a little vlog, actually, I might have to use my brother's phone, because he's got an iPhone 11 or whatever.
Film some scenery. Maybe after each play, just talk to yourself, Maybe
after each quarter, I'll give
a little
recap. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do like a little summary.
People haven't seen our faces on this channel for a while.
No, they haven't, actually.
So the next time...
Since the first 2 videos.
Yeah, so the next... This will be the first time people have seen you, and then the next time will be probably when I do my forfeit at some point, which we'll get onto later. But
yes, of course. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So Jaguars next. I think we're gonna win. Ooh. I mean, we are on the road, and I'm not gonna lie, we are getting there very, very, very late. We have Houston have left today.
Wow.
So they left after practice on Thursday, which is today. The 31st. So they're leaving. So I'm not sure what time. What time is it now? It's almost 1 o'clock now in England time.
Yeah.
So that will be Houston time. Is it 6 hours behind? Is it central?
No
anyway,
idea.
It's early in the morning, so they're not going to be leaving for the entirety of the day. And I'm not going to lie, all day Friday. Well, so they're going to get in. They're going to be jet lagged as hell. They're going to be arriving on Friday morning.
Probably be
I'd
walking around London.
Walking around, having a good time, sightseeing. Probably doing a few maybe press conferences and events. They're going to be tired. Saturday they'll train all day. They're going to be tired. Press conferences all day. Yeah. Sunday they're going to be tired. They've got an early kickoff. I think it's 12? No, 3:30 kickoff. So it's not early, but you haven't got much of the day. You're going to spend almost maybe 5 hours before training, going through playbooks, going through talks, team talks, team management. It's a busy weekend. I'm not sure what time the Jags got here, but I think they've been here. Maybe
it's their home ground though,
Yeah, but it's not their home ground, is it? I mean, come on, let's be straight. I mean, I've talked about this whole debate before about if the NFL team should be in London. It shouldn't. The logistics behind it is ridiculous. As much as I'd want to go see an NFL game every week, one, I couldn't afford it, and two, it'd just be ridiculous for other teams.
That is true.
But I feel like I'm getting in a bit of a rant.
So what? How do you think it's going to go then?
I think Houston are going to win. If we can lock up, I mean, it's just hopeful. If we can lock up our secondary, put more focus on the pass rush, so Jaguars have to get the ball out quicker, so it gives us less time to, mess up plays on deep balls. So if we can pass rush to the extent that we were doing at the start of the season, and there's forcing those turnovers, forcing those fumbles, recovering the fumbles, doing that sort of stuff as we were in the start of the season, I think we'll have a better chance of having a higher scoring game than just 15-10 or whatever. But I think the score is going to be Houston 28, Jaguars 17.
Well, William, considering this is the second half of our forfeits now, I might have to. I started off bold and then I tried to rein it in a bit.
I think I'm not gonna lie, I think I started off bold. I was 0-3.
Yeah, you did.
And I've come back to win.
You did. Although I am really pissed off with how that went. But we'll go on to that soon.
I think you should go on to the scores.
I think I'm going to say the Jaguars are going to win that game, to be honest.
You do?
I don't know how many games the Jaguars have actually won at Wembley. I don't think it's many. But
no, I think they've lost a few.
I think they're actually
they lost last year.
I can see Big G Minshew. My G Minshew.
Minshew Mania.
Maybe not putting up. I don't know. I think you'll get quite a few turnovers, but I don't know. I've just got a feeling about the Jags.
Who's going to pick him though? Our secondary is a chocolate fire guard.
You'll strip sack, fumble, touchdown him.
Yes, we will. We'll force turnovers. I don't know. With what out, I can't tell if we're going to have that much of a presence when it comes to defense and
24-21 Jags. Jags get a game-winning field goal. Game-winning field goal.
Actually, you know what? That's actually quite a sensible prediction because we haven't won a game other than one this year.
It's a division game as well, isn't it? So.
Divisional game, so it matters quite a bit. We haven't won a game properly, as in it's always been a one-score game.
Yeah.
So actually, you know what? That's a clever prediction.
I've picked the Texans to win too many fucking times this year, so I'm sick of it now. Yeah. And you don't care about voting against bloody Dallas Cowboys. But anyway, let's go into the review of the rest of the games. As I said, absolutely boring because there's no Dallas Cowboys this week. But we did start off this week with a team that is in Dallas Cowboys division, and it is Washington at Minnesota, and they lost 9-19.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for the Redskins because I don't actually think their defense is that good. I mean, only letting the Vikings, who have been rolling at the moment, scoring 19.
Yeah, they are a sleeper team. We haven't spoke about them a lot.
But the Washington Redskins held them to 19, which is good. I mean, the problem is with the Washington Redskins, their offense is awful. I mean,
yeah, it's not great at all, is it?
Case Keenum, 12-16, 130 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean,
it's not great.
Dwayne Haskins came in at 1.33 yards. Adrian Peterson, 14 for 76, 5.4 yards. I mean, 5.4 yards per carry is not too bad, but I suppose when you're chasing the game so much, it's. I mean, you're not going to be running it that much. But to be fair, it doesn't look like they could pick up a first down to save their life. I mean, their leading receiver was McLaurin with 39 yards. Case Keenum lost the fumble. Contrast that with the Vikings stats. Kirk Cousins 285, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Dalvin Cook 98 yards, 1 touchdown. Dalvin Cook's having a good season, to be fair to him. He's out of all the running backs, I think Dalvin, McCaffrey. I mean, I'd put Josh Jacobs there, Zeke. He's doing really well, to be fair to him. He's definitely Minnesota Vikings are our sleeper team.
They are. I've said it before as well. I said it last week or the week before. They are a team that sort of slips under the radar a little bit.
And Stephon Diggs now is back to his old ways with 143 yards. We were giving him
silly trade deal stuff. Yeah. It just ruins NFL, I think. All that holding out and
I mean, but
I'm not a fan of it.
Someone set the precedent for that, and it's just annoying that that's even a thing.
Who did it? I mean? Le'Veon Bell did it for a whole season.
Yeah.
He held out for a whole season for a contract, and then went to the Jets, and now the Jets are looking to trade.
Yeah, but it's stupid. I understand it from a business point of view because you want a longer term contract. You want to make sure that you're financially stable in case anything happens. Blah blah blah. But I don't know whether that's the right way to go about it, or
it's not right. No, it's not the right way to go about it.
I don't know.
I mean, from what Le'Veon Bell did, he did not do what the right example. He did not do the right example of how you know.
I think
about career-wise, because he was just sort of having a good time. He had a year out. He was just on holiday. He was in Miami for ages. He was just just dossing about.
I think it's worse when they're actually under contract for quite a few years, but then they're seeking a trade just because they don't like the fucking team.
Yeah,
like that's more ratty.
That's petty.
Yeah,
that's
like
stay childish behavior.
Stay with your team. Like at least like see out your rookie contract. At least like these rookies who come. I mean, we'll get onto it later, but Mika Fitzpatrick at the Miami Dolphins. I understand why he's gone. To be fair to him, because they're tanking the season, but at the same time, like. You were drafted for. You could be part of 2-3 years time.
A dynasty.
Yeah.
That's a bold statement. But
and then people would look back on it and think you were there at the worst of times. You know, you didn't just leave. Like you were there when we went 1-15.
I'm afraid the way the NFL is going now is people like rookies come in from success. So let's have a think. Mayfield's a good example. Came in from success. You know, he was with the Sooners and they had a winning season. You know, they did really well. Heisman Trophy winner, was he?
Yeah.
He was, isn't he? Heisman Trophy winner. And then you get traded to the Browns. And I mean, funny, the Browns are probably overall the worst team the league has ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe close
before this season.
Close with the Lions. I think the Browns are the worst team in the league over the entirety of the NFL and the AFL, and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite. I can imagine it being quite demoralising going to a team when you are the superstar of that team.
Have you seen that documentary about the Browns?
No.
That with I think it was before they moved to Baltimore. So basically, the Browns in the 90s moved to Baltimore and became the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
But at one point, the Browns team, because there was a big hoo-ha over them leaving, and they were going so well in that season, and they just tanked it because the fans got basically overran everything. They were fuming. There was too much politics going on. But they had Bill Belichick was their coach.
Yeah, he was.
I think they had Ozzie Newsome in there. They had,
and it was their last winning season, was it?
They had, they had the Atlanta Falcons GM. They went through the documentary. Is so good. If no one's seen it, you should go watch it. The coaching staff they had in that team was probably the best coaching staff that will ever be seen in the NFL. When you look back on what all of them have gone on to achieve, even lower down from scouts and what they've done past that, it's so good. But that's going off track a bit. But yeah, as you're saying, it is unfortunate when someone just completely snakes off a team, but
it's not good. It's not good publicity for yourself or for the team.
Minnesota now are 6-2, 1-7 for the Washington Redskins. The Washington Redskins pretty much done now. I think
season done for this, yeah.
But as soon as they get Case Keenum, you knew that was over because it's Case Keenum, and I think the defense is all right, but when you can't do anything with your offense, what can you do?
So moving on to another divisional game that I watched, Denver versus the Colts. Colts, unfortunately, took a win, 15-13. Close game, 2 points difference. Denver only scored one touchdown. Same with Colts. I think, I don't know, Jacoby Brissett, stats aren't too bad. 15-25, 202 yards. Joe Flacco, 20-32 for 174. Not great. Philip Lindsay, the star running back for Denver, 59 yards, 14 attempts. That's not great. Look on to the Colts. Marlon Mack, Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett rushed for 34. Marlon Mack rushed for 76. Marlon Mack because he had his own TD. I don't know. I think it's just a bit of a boring game. Just a one-score game for each team, and then field goals decide it. Do you know what I mean?
If anyone's watched the Denver though this year, that's been Denver.
Must be a boring season for you
because their defense is actually half decent still.
Yeah, it's decent. It is decent defense,
but their offense is awful.
Yeah, it's not great.
And
I mean, with Joe Flacco at the helm, you can't expect much, can you? Let's be straight.
Exactly. So no, there's not. I mean, that was. What do you think about that for your division? Colts are going to win. Yeah.
I mean, they're currently leading.
Yeah.
Because of our loss the other week. But I can't peg them as. I don't know, because ever since Peyton left and that sort of era of Peyton and the Colts ended, I think the Colts just sort of went to a bit of meh. But I think now they are on a bit of a comeback. And I know from the start you've always said they're going to win the division.
Yeah.
And I think they might. I mean, it's between the two. Let's be straight. But it's going to be close.
It'll be annoying if it comes back as they win, because I think I'm going to lose my bet anyway, because I've put the Cleveland Browns to win the division.
Yeah, they're done.
That's not happening. Yeah. So, anyway, we've got one of my other division games: New York Giants v Detroit. Another loss to one of my divisional rivals. New York Giants 2-6 now. Detroit 3-3-1. Detroit picks up this 31-26. Close game on the face of things, but realistically, I don't think the Giants were ever in a lead
in
per
contention,
se.
Yeah.
They were playing catch up for a lot of the game. Daniel Jones had a decent game though, to be fair to him. 322 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, that's a class game, and I think he had quite a lot of pressure on him at a lot of points. Saquon Barkley didn't have the best game, 64 yards, 3.4 per carry, but then 79 yards receiving. So, I mean, combined, he had about 160, 150 yards, all total yards, which isn't too bad. But I do feel sorry for Barkley in a way, because I think this season, he's still... I actually think he's better than Ezekiel Elliott, to be honest, which probably will ruffle...
I think he's more athletic.
Yeah, and I just think he does the same. You watch some of the runs he pulled off in that game. So one of his plays, he literally got tackled by about 2-3 of the men, and
it's insane.
And he still got a first down. But his stats aren't the best this year, because I think, the Giants have been behind a lot. They've not actually played to the lead, so they've not been able to use their running game to the point, because they've had to pass, and you can see it in the stats with 322 yards of Daniel Jones. I mean, Golden Tate got 85. For the Detroit Lions, Stafford got 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. I quite like Matthew Stafford.
Stafford is a decent player.
He always has, but I think he's one. I don't know. I think the problem was with Matthew Stafford was he got tarnished with a brush when he had Megatron, which was, you've got Megatron. So
he would catch anything that was near him.
All he'd do is toss
regardless.
It up. Yeah.
Regardless of who was near him, what was near him, where he was in the field, he would catch it and get his feet in the bounds, no matter what.
And when you look at it now, Kenny Golladay, I don't even know where he came from, but he's had good seasons past 2 years now. 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. Danny Amendola's got 93 yards.
Yeah.
95 yards, sorry. He's putting up good numbers. He's playing well, to be fair to him. Just 1 fumble each in the game, 1 interception thrown by Matthew Stafford. But all in all, I thought Detroit has actually done well. This year.
Let's track it back a couple of years, and they have been cursed, haven't they? There is that whole conspiracy that the Lions have been cursed by the NFL gods or something.
Yeah.
But since Matt Patricia left the Patriots and has gone on to head coach, they've been doing okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that's his team management, the players he has, the coaches he has around him, but I'm sure that the Belichick has had a large impact on the way that he's been coaching the Lions. And I think it does come out in his play style and his play calling and stuff.
Yeah.
Because, I'm not being funny, but the Patriots defense is the best it has been ever now. But even back when Patricia was defensive coordinator, they were still...
Yeah, they were still doing well.
Still a dynasty on both sides of the game.
Yeah.
So I do think that people give the Lions a bit of stick when they shouldn't do. You know what I mean? Even though I am one of the people that give Lions stick because they are cursed.
But just a little stat that shows you how well Stafford's playing. Matthew Stafford has 10 pass touchdowns and no interceptions and a rating of 110 in the red zone this season. So I think that's
in
quite
the red zone.
good.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
So and that's that. They're crucial then. But yeah.
Yeah. So another divisional win for my rivals. The
lovely
Tampa Bay lost to the Titans 23-27.
Close.
The Tennessee Titans moved to 4-4, again tightening the gap for our divisional championship. The Tampa Bay moved to 2-5, El Clasico of losing. Of losing.
Well, I've never heard that before, losing.
Of losing, yeah. But no, so Jameis Winston, we've spoken about him previously in this podcast, as we don't really know what he's doing, do we?
I don't rate him at all.
21/43, which is essentially 50% completion. 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. You know what? That's meh.
Yeah.
Rushing for 53. Jameis Winston, Mike Evans had a game.
Oh, I know. Don't tell me about he was on my bench on fantasy football.
Mike Evans had a game.
Fuming.
2 touchdowns, 198 yards.
Oh my goodness.
He had a game.
And I lost, that team, I lost by 4 points, and Mike Evans was chilling on about
I have
46
given up my
points.
fantasy league because I am dreadful. I decide I go into mad depth into who I want, when I want, who I can buy week. I put a lot of research into it, and I lose every game. But you know what?
Sometimes you just have to go by it.
But yeah, so Titans tighten up our division. Buccaneers aren't doing much this season, and they aren't. I think they're the same as the Redskins and Dolphins. They're just gonna have a losing season again, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
You were thinking about that then, and then you realised, hang on a second, if I try and disagree with that, I'm going to look like a twat.
What? Wait, Tampa Bay is going to have a losing record? Did I hear you right?
It's going to have a losing record. Yes, it's going to have a losing record.
I've never rated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No, I never have. And Jameis Winston was okay when he got drafted. Nah. But ever since, I said it before, ever since that ridiculous, I'm going to eat this W pre-game speech, the team's gone downhill.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so going into my next game, we had, the only division rival to pick up a win this week. And annoyingly, it was the fucking Eagles. And I said to you last week...
Go Birds!
I said to you the Eagles going to beat the Bills, and I stupidly changed my predictions. Then we could put it all on the Chiefs game. And I forgot that Mahomes was fucking out. And if Mahomes wasn't out, they would have won that stupid game. But Philadelphia Eagles did win 31-13. Buffalo Bills now 5-2. Back down to earth. It just always happens like the Philadelphia Eagles aren't that bad, but they got absolutely humbled by the Dallas Cowboys. And it's one of them things where, oh my God, I knew it was going to happen. Carson Wentz, 172 yards, 1 touchdown. Jordan Howard, 96 yards, 1 touchdown. Miles Sanders had a big run. I don't know how long it was. I think it was about 60-odd yards, but it was crazy. 65 yards it was. Receiving-wise, Alshon Jeffrey, 64, Miles Sanders, 44. I mean, realistically, I don't think they didn't put up a lot of numbers, but I think they got 1 fumble. Penalties killed Buffalo Bills in this game.
Oh yeah, big time.
But overall, Philadelphia got 218 rushing yards, which ultimately has won them the game. They out-yarded Buffalo Bills by about 130.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh Allen as well. He looked like a running back as well as Lamar Jackson too. 169, two touchdowns. He also got 45 yards. I don't know what's going to happen with the Bills now. They did not look good at all at home as well. Like this,
it's just not interesting, is it?
And I said to you, there's going to be a point where the Bills lose, and then you think,
I want the Bills to win the season, though. I want them to do well and sort of get back on track.
Yeah, I do, because I don't actually mind the Bills.
Because they're a laughable team, but they shouldn't be.
No, I know. I remember when they They had Tyrod Taylor not so long ago, didn't
he? He was a great running
back. He was slinging it. Well, he was a great running back, to be fair to him. But as I said, now Philadelphia 4-4. The Eagles have won 22 consecutive games when scoring 25+ points, which isn't surprising, really. Miles Sanders' 65-yard rush touchdown was the longest Eagles rush touchdown since 2013, which I think is quite crazy, to be honest, when you think about it. When you think about all the big running plays that maybe your team score, my team score. I mean, I know Zeke, when he came into the league, did all sorts, so maybe I'm looking through that with rose-tinted glasses, to be fair.
I think you are, yeah, but I think the Houston's longest was like Lamar Miller for like a 99-yard one, 198 yards like last season, I think, against the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Something ridiculous like that.
And then we've not even mentioned, but on Sunday it was National Tight Ends Day, Will.
It was.
So, conveniently enough, I mean, your tight end had a career day, really.
Kittle for the 49ers, he had a blinder every game. And well good.
Dallas Goedert's 5-yard receiving touchdown in the second quarter was the first touchdown allowed by the Bills to a tight end this season. So
wow, so tight ends all weekend were doing pretty well.
It really was. I mean, they were all mic'd up, weren't they, on the NFL Network and stuff like that.
Zach Ertz did well. Yeah. Who else did well? Did Kelsey have a good game?
Kelsey scored, yeah.
He scored.
So, I mean, I think they were all trying their darndest
on the highlight, weren't they? Yeah.
To get on the highlight reel at the end of the year for the mic'd up sessions, which are always
they're brilliant.
They are banterful. So.
They are the highlight of the end of the season. I just watch mic'd up 100%. Every single game. But so moving on, we had the Saints versus the Cardinals at home for the Saints. So Superdome was probably pretty daunting for Kyler Murray. I can imagine. You know, who dat and loud volume. But so the Cardinals lost 9-31. The Saints moved to 7-1. The only game they have lost was when Drew Brees injured his thumb, and he's back.
Yeah. Who did they lose to?
The Rams. I can't remember who they lost to, but they lost to someone.
I think it was the Rams, because I think I remember picking the Rams. I think
it was the Rams. Yeah. But anyway, so the Saints moved to 7-1, and again, they are a team that needs to win the Super Bowl. They need to win. Well, Sean needs a second ring. When was the last time they won? 2008?
Maybe 2009. It was around
2009?
Anyway, yeah.
Long time ago. 10 years ago, let's say. 11 years ago, let's say.
Or it might have been quicker than that. It might be 2011-ish. Because I think 2008... Oh no, 2007 was the Giants.
2009 was definitely the Saints. I'm sure it was.
2008 might have been Packers. But yeah, go on, carry on.
Anyway, yeah, so, I mean, I like being funny, but the Saints have bad luck. And Drew Brees, he is an outstanding player. He is probably one of the top 5 in the league.
Well, and it was funny because we had the conversation last week about Teddy Bridgewater's done so well, but is it unfair to take him out of the team?
I don't know.
And to be fair, when you watch the game originally, the start, it was a bit, should Teddy maybe stayed in? But then the class of Drew Brees came out. I mean,
they
ran a few trick plays.
He's back slinging.
Yeah.
And he's a brilliant... I know it's not... It doesn't matter about the game, whatever. It doesn't matter about, the person off the field. But he's an awesome person off the field as well.
You said Patriots Saints in the Super Bowl.
I did.
So, I mean...
But I do expect a lot from them.
I mean, but if Sean Payton wants a second ring, he should really ask Robert Kraft for help on that matter, I think.
He needs a second ring. Sean Payton needs a ring. He is an outstanding coach. He's got a good coaching staff. He's had Drew Brees at the helm for God knows how bloody long, 15 seasons. Yeah. And he's been injured, and he's always come back strong. And I think this injury is going to come back even stronger, I reckon. But they need to win. I want them to win the Super Bowl this year.
Well, they'll have to get past Dallas Cowboys, will
Yeah, good luck, mate. I'm sure the Saints will come blasting through.
12-13 game again. So, the next game was the LA Chargers, Chicago Bears. What to say about this game?
Chargers are awful.
Well, so the Chargers pick up the win, to be fair to them. But this game, I could maybe argue was a defensive game, but I could then argue that it was a battle of the shit offenses, which I think that's what it was, because the offenses were shit. I mean, I don't know if you've seen on Instagram someone dressed up as Mitchell Trubisky for Halloween.
Yeah, they did.
In a trash.
I've seen a few of the Joker movies. And he's looking at himself in the mirror with all the face makeup, and he's got a Trubisky jersey on. That's pretty good.
When you're a Bears fan and you still think that Trubisky's gonna come good.
Yeah, I saw one, and it was like when you're a Bears fan, you still start Trubisky in your fantasy team.
But
to be fair, I've still started Trubisky on my fantasy team every single week.
That's
because I haven't got another QB, and I can't be asked to carry on trading because I just keep losing games.
That is why you're losing. But the main thing to take from this game was this stat line, Bill. Bill, I'm going to change your name now. Billy. The Bears lost for the third time, missed game-winning field goal since 2018. So that's basically in a year's time, they've lost 3 games
from game-winning
from a missed field goal.
Yeah.
Which
poor effort on the kicker, and I'm not being funny. From a year, you've lost 3 games from a kicker from one person's fault. Have they had the same kicker? I'm not sure if they have or not.
No, I think they changed.
I don't keep up on the Bears kicker. If I'm honest, that's low on my priorities in life. But yeah, I think I'm not being funny. I think you need a personnel change. You just do.
Yeah.
So
I mean. So yeah,
it's not looking good.
Eddie Pinheiro, he actually missed 2 in the game, but 3 seconds left. Interestingly enough, towards the end of this game, they had 40 seconds left. I think they were about 40. The field goal at that point was about 40 odd yards.
Yeah,
and they had 1 timeout, and they elected to take a knee, which I thought was interesting because on one hand you can think, okay, maybe don't risk any sort of freak turnovers, blah blah blah, take a knee. But at the same time, you watch that field goal, it turned left at the last second. It didn't miss by much. It did lean left, but if they'd have been maybe 5 yards closer, that would have sneaked in, I think. So if they'd have ran it, maybe. I mean, they had the timeout, and I know they were using it to stop it at the 3 second mark and then do all that crap and have no time left on the clock.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that it's food for thought, and especially with, I feel like everybody knew that kick was going to miss. I was watching that live, actually, funnily enough, and I was sat there thinking, he's going to miss. This is such a Bears thing to do. I mean, last year they lost in the playoffs, didn't they? By a missed field goal, and they were smashing it last year. But now they are 3-4. LA Chargers are 3-5. I don't think either of these teams are going to achieve much because their offense and QB play isn't good enough. So
yeah, they're not good enough.
Not good enough.
So moving on, we had the another sort of team we talk about a lot as being one of the trashiest teams in the league, and you do not like this QB. The Bengals lost to the Chargers.
Surprise!
10-24.
Rams.
Sorry, Chargers? What am I on about? Rams. Sorry, my mistake. The Bengals lost to the Rams 10-24.
Jesus Christ.
They moved to 0-8. 0-8. At least, wait, Washington won a game?
Yes.
So they're at least they're not on the same level as Washington.
So I think the only teams to not have won are
Dolphins,
Miami, yes.
Bengals.
Is there any other team? I don't think there is.
I think there is.
I think they're the only 2 teams.
Yeah. So Andrew Dalton, he had a bit of an issue, didn't he? Because he wanted to get traded away.
Who's gonna take him?
I know. Yeah, I think he wants a trade, or he's demanding a trade.
I'd have him as my backup.
I didn't.
Jesus
I saw it briefly.
Christ.
I saw it briefly on the NFL Network, and I just ignored it because Andrew Dalton, he's just a nobody at the moment in this time. But a 32 over 52 completion attempt rate, 329 yards, 1 touchdown. To be fair, he threw for a lot of yards. 330 yards is 329 isn't. That's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's because they're probably like behind the majority of the game, so that's all they're gonna do. And I mean,
just sling the ball. Yeah.
So you know.
But yeah, so a bit of a boring game. LA moved to 5-3.
Interestingly enough, here, Will, it says that Todd Gurley, who some may argue is within the top 5 running backs in the league, has fewer than 100 rush yards in 9 straight games.
The longest streak since 20 straight games in 15-17.
I mean, that's good.
Is that Gurley on the down?
That's
down.
I mean, he got injured, didn't he? He got injured during the playoff run, and then he didn't really have a feature in the Super Bowl, and now it's looking.
Here we are. Another stat for you. Cincinnati has allowed 20 plus fantasy points to a QB in 4 straight games.
Jesus.
So their secondary is worse than ours. And Jared Goff has had 20 plus fantasy points in the consecutive games for the first time this season. The Jared Goff slinging.
Yeah, I don't know whether I'm that much of a fan of Jared Goff though, which is maybe controversial, but you know.
Here we are. Look, Bengals have 35 plus rush yards for the 4th time in 8 games this season. 35. That's not good.
Jesus. Sheesh.
Not great.
Yep. Well, now we go on to a team
that is great.
7-0.
It is great.
49.
Unsurprisingly great, but I like it.
Well, I'll tell you something. Well, I was because Dallas Cowboys got stick when they were 3-0, and everyone was saying about who they've played.
You played no one, but I'll let that slide. Carry on.
And then I kind of went on the New England Patriots tirade and looked at who they played. Now, I did the same for San Francisco 49ers. And to be fair to them, it is looking pretty similar.
You think?
This year. Now, I'm just getting the fixtures up from this year. But I think this was the first game that you can actually say... I mean, they beat the Rams, to be fair to them, but the Rams have been up and down. But this is the first game where I thought... Panthers, actually quite a good team. So they've started the year. They beat the Bucks, Bengals, Steelers, Browns. Already there.
Not great, is it?
Trash bowl.
Yeah.
They beat the Rams, to be fair to them, but then they beat the Redskins 9-0. And we talked about that.
Yeah, but that was a game that... It was a game of defense, and the weather was appalling.
So they've beaten...
It was a hurricane,
They've
basically.
beaten the Panthers and the Rams, to be fair to them, which are decent wins. I'll give them that now, so maybe I'm a bit on board. And
You're being a little bit harsh, I think.
I am. I'm just trying to find ways why...
You could diminish their winnings.
And maybe Kyle Allen throwing 3 interceptions and 158 yards with no touchdowns is a reason for that.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey, again, having a good game. 117 yards, 1 touchdown, 8.4. I mean, he's class.
If the Panthers don't get to the playoffs... McCaffrey is out of the MVP question.
100%.
Let's be straight.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't be.
No.
He should be the MVP.
No.
In my opinion, he should be.
He's making Kyle Allen look good, to
MVP,
be fair to him.
But he should be in contention and in conversation for MVP this season, but he's not going to be because of the team he's with. And that's not fair.
I mean, and Jimmy G putting up Tom Brady-esque numbers, which is 175 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean, it doesn't look good, but then in the grand scheme of things, I mean... Tevin Coleman, 105 yards. They got 232 rush yards in total, 175 yards pass. Exactly. Manuel Sanders getting his first touchdown in a San Francisco jersey since trading from the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
To be honest, it was a really poor game from the Panthers. I know that the San Francisco 49ers defense has been good this season. They got 3 interceptions, of course, but Kyle Allen had his 100% worst game since taking over from Cam Newton. So there's not more else to say, but good luck for San Francisco. I hope it's not a fluke, but something sneakily tells me they will not make it past the divisional round. Will
no? I think they will.
I'll be surprised. I think maybe if the Texans want to get close, they might have to beat them.
Yeah,
but we'll see about that.
We'll see about that later on in the season. I think we'll have that. It's too. At the moment, the season's too sort of jumbled up and a bit sort of what's going on. So I think towards the end of this podcast, I think we'll go for more of a conversation about sort of stuff. But moving on, another divisional game for Houston. The Jacksonville Jaguars moved to 4-4 as they beat the New York Jets, 29-15. Now let's take a step back a couple of weeks, and I'm going to take a rewind here. The only team the Jets have won against is the... I want to hear you say it right into the mic.
What is it?
The 1-6,
Giants.
the 1-6 Jets. The 1-6 Jets.
They might have beat the Patriots. Did they beat the
They
Patriots?
might have beaten the the boys. Are we them boys? Is it we them boys?
Yeah, I think
boys.
maybe the Amari Cooper, Tyron Smith, Lyle Collins list. Dallas Cowboys lost.
Maybe the Jets beat America's team. Was it that one? Anyway, the only team that the Jets have beaten was the Cowboys, and wow.
Well, we are a team of charity. Will we not only give to the poor, we give to the teams that need a win. You know, to make them feel better about themselves.
Lord. So
you're
a team of charity.
Jerry,
well, I thank you.
There we go.
Thank you for giving the Jets a boost of confidence in their 1-6 season.
Yes. Well, of course. That was one high on their mostly miserable year. So I'm glad that the Dallas Cowboys could provide
entertainment for the Jets fans.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? I appreciate that.
Do you know what? If you said to me, looking back on it, because I always do this with Liverpool, when they lose to someone or draw to someone bad but then beat someone good. We beat oh my god, let's not get started on that game last night. But anyway, the Dallas Cowboys beat the Eagles but lost to the Jets. Now if you told me I could win one of them and lose the other one, I'd have done that exact thing. I'd have took a win against the Eagles than a loss
I know you would have done,
to the Jets. Of course I'd have preferred 2 wins, but that's not how Jason Garrett does things. That's not how Dallas Cowboys do things, because they're going to win the division probably 9-7. But as I said, let's get away from this conversation, because that was a dark time in my life 2 weeks ago, to be honest.
Fair enough. So the New York Jets, Sam Darnold threw 21 over 30, 218 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Not great.
No.
Gardner Minshew Mania, the man, the myth.
The man, the myth, the legend.
The legend. 22 over 34, 279 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions.
Going to be slinging
Good game.
in London.
Moves to 4-4. Willie sling in London. Willie.
Oh, if people are dressed up like Minshew, you need to get.
And I'm not being funny. There are a lot of Jaguars fans in the UK.
Yeah.
They seem to storm. I mean, I've been to the NFL games maybe 2 years in a row. I've been to almost all of them in the past 2 years. And there is a flood of Jaguars fans.
Are they genuine?
They take over London. There's pubs with Jaguar flags everywhere. There's cars with flags on. There's people with face paint. There's kids dressed up as Jaguars. There's literally Jaguars everywhere.
Well, funny you say that. I went to watch Dallas Cowboys in 2014 against the Jags at London. And I've never felt so alone in a stadium before, because not only was obviously a lot of the stadium Jags fans, but every neutral fan, because you do get neutral fans going to these games.
They support the Jaguars.
They don't support the Dallas Cowboys anyway.
Will,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they do not.
It could have been anyone. They're not supporting the Dallas Cowboys.
If you're a neutral fan in the NFL, and let's say you're just going to, because it's interesting, and London, it's cheap, it's a good day out, and it's quite interesting to watch. You will support the home team. Because their flags are everywhere.
Dallas.
The NFL shove Jaguars flags under your seats.
Yeah.
They force you, like, you're a Jaguars fan now.
Plastic fan.
Yeah, plastic fans. But they force you to support the Jaguars. So if you're a travelling team going there, expect trash talk. I was sat there in my Hopkins jersey last year, sat behind Jaguars fans, and they were giving me shit the entire game. And Houston weren't even playing.
I wouldn't wear your Hopkins jersey this year.
No, I'm wearing my Deshaun Watson jersey this year.
There we go. That's good.
I'm not wearing Hopkins jersey. I don't think I have the balls to.
No, but to be fair,
But anyway, we seem to be going off on a tangent.
Yeah. Okay, but, Green Bay, Kansas City.
On.
Now, this lost me predictions, so looks like I put it all on this game because I thought, go on, Green Bay, Kansas City, Mahomes versus Rodgers. Oh, I was silly, because Mahomes isn't actually fit to play.
No, he's not.
So
you've got some... I don't know who he is.
It's Matt Moore. Matt Moore. What a guy. And to be fair to him, he didn't have a bad game, and they only lost by 1 score. It was 31-24. And I argue this, Will, that I predicted they'd win with Mahomes. And if Mahomes would have been playing, Mahomes would have taken them to a win. Because Mahomes is the gap between Mahomes and Matt Moore is more than a touchdown.
Yeah.
But anyway, I am salty, but whatever. Matt Moore, 267, 2 touchdowns. Not very good rushing stats, to be fair to them. Tyreek Hill had 76 yards. Travis Kelce, 1 touchdown, 63 yards. Nashawn McCoy fumbled once. The one plus I thought that Kansas City did quite well, because their defense has been quite crap, and conceding 31 yards isn't the best, but I thought they got quite a lot of pressure on Aaron Rodgers, to be fair to them.
Yeah, but then again, Aaron Rodgers is king of sort of escaping pressure. So they were creating pressure, but they just don't do anything with it, because Aaron Rodgers just escapes the pocket every single bloody time.
Ever since you said he's not a GOAT earlier in this podcast.
Rodgers?
Yeah, that he's just been absolutely slinging it. They sacked Rodgers 5 times, to be fair, but he eluded a lot.
I think
blitzed them quite a lot.
I think he is a very, very good player, definitely an elite QB. However, he's not the GOAT. Do you know what I mean? Tom Brady, think of his achievements.
We are going to get on such a... But this needs to be a podcast. I'm telling you, if Aaron Rodgers in the New England Patriots for the past few years, Aaron Rodgers would have been the GOAT.
You think?
I think Bill Belichick's that good that I think... I know Tom Brady's good, don't get me wrong, but I genuinely don't think Tom Brady is as good, technically gifted, and as good as Rodgers and Breeze.
We need to have a
podcast
on this, I think.
I will say that right now, because I think Aaron Rodgers... All you have to do is look at Aaron Rodgers' last touchdown he threw. He rolled out, and he did some mad flick, and it got it into the corner. Aaron Jones, who absolutely pieced up the Dallas Cowboys, had a crazy game as well. He running back, got 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, as long as 67 rush yards. I mean, for a fantasy owner, that's crazy, to be fair to him. But Aaron Rodgers, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 305 yards. I think he's the GOAT. I think he's better than Tom Brady. I think Drew Brees is better than Tom Brady. So
currently, yes, stats-wise. Think of the accomplishments, though. Overall. Anyway, this is a podcast for itself, I think, because we could talk about this for years.
But yeah, they lost me predictions, so I don't even want to go into that game. Fucking.
So the last game for me, the Seahawks versus Atlanta. Seahawks won 27 over 20. Sorry, Atlanta moved to 1-7. Seahawks moved to 6-2. Seahawks I think they're in contention, for NFC Championship.
I don't know. I can't see anyone at this point being in the championship game apart from
Saints,
Green Bay and Saints.
Green Bay Saints. I think it's Green Bay Saints Packers. Green Bay. Sorry.
Yeah.
What am I on about? Green Bay Saints and Seahawks
and Cowboys.
No.
Cowboys.
No. They're gonna go 9-7.
How about
Shut up,
Cowboys.
But yes, a bit of a boring game. I mean, the Seahawks scored the entirety of their points in the second quarter, basically. They scored 21 points in the second quarter. So, it's not bad. Russell Wilson, again, more of a mobile QB, so his passing yards ain't that great. 14 over 20, 182 yards, 2 touchdowns. I tell you what, I should rephrase that. It is pretty good, but it's not what he's usually throwing. Again, didn't rush for much either. 4 yards, 4 attempts, no touchdowns. Sorry, 3 of 2 touchdowns. Chris Carson, 90 yards, 20 attempps. Again, not particularly great. Tyler Lockett hits the 100 club, 100 yards, 6 attempts, 6 receptions. Sorry, but I think Matt Schaub. Or Schwab. I don't know how you pronounce his name.
I'm going to say Schwab.
His brother was David Schwab.
Schwab, yes.
Schwab. David Schwab was a Texans player, but his brother Matt, 39 over 52, 460 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jesus 460 Christ. Yards.
Wait, who's that for? Atlanta?
Yeah, 460 yards.
He's not around injured, I didn't even realise. Yeah. Jesus
He's
Christ.
Out, yeah. So Matt Schwab or Schwab?
Schwabe.
Just Matt.
Matthew.
Or
is it mate?
Shut up.
Matt.
460 yards. That's incredible. He's slinging the ball down the field.
He is, but they're not winning. So.
They're not winning, so they're not doing anything with it.
Doesn't matter.
No.
And the last game for me, well, actually, we haven't mentioned the Browns-Patriots games, but the Patriots won, so let's move on.
Yeah, Patriots won, 27-13. Banger, banger, banger.
The last game was what everyone was saying was a preseason game for the Monday Night Football. We got Pittsburgh, Miami. Pittsburgh win 27-14. Miami scored 14 points in the first quarter, pretty much.
A high-scoring game for a trash bowl.
It was. But all I'm going to say in this game was the Miami Dolphins lost it 2 minutes before halftime because they were 14-0 up with 2 minutes to go, and then they ended up throwing a pick and conceding a touchdown and a field goal. So they went in 14-10 when all they had to do was hold on. Even a field goal, making it 14-3 is a huge difference compared to 14-10.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of took over Pittsburgh Steelers in the second half. Miami didn't score anything. So,
but I mean, is that surprising, not scoring a single point in 30 minutes of football?
It's not when you're talking about the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, true.
So, you know. And to be fair, I don't really think they scored. They might have scored right at the start of the second quarter, but realistically, it was the entirety of the second, third, and fourth. They didn't concede anything. Wow. So, we're going on to predictions.
Probably the most important thing of the show, because this hang on a second. You're 4-4.
No, it's over. I already have to do the.
Oh, you do?
I already have to do the blue forfeits.
I won 5-3.
Yep.
I won 5-3.
Yep, and I was 3-1 up. So 6.
Yeah, so we'll have to do some sort of poll maybe next week. We decide what you have to do, but it's gonna be something stupid.
Yeah.
Something painful.
Well,
maybe jump into the Mersey.
No, fuck off.
You get arrested for that, I think.
I mean, I can try it. We can try and do something interesting with the chili, but I'm really bad with hot stuff. But
we could maybe think of something to do. I might do a little poll on Instagram about what we could do to Max.
We can either do
as punishment.
It soon, or we can wait and do it at the end of the year.
Maybe we should do it at the end of the year, maybe.
And then we do.
I tell you what,
we do them all together.
Maybe we should just hold off on the halfway season point and just do one big challenge at the end.
No, because you're 5-3 up, Will. So this is my chance to get you.
No, maybe we do a big challenge at the end. Yeah, but even if you do a challenge now, and then I win again at the end of the season, you're still gonna have to do another challenge. So what would you rather do? One challenge or two challenges?
I'd rather gamble to see you do a forfeit as well. Because
fair enough.
As well, I'm only saying this because my predictions last week were based off
one game
having to win
that
week. So we would have tied because I'd have said actually I would have won because I'd have said Green Bay and then I'd have said Eagles. I put it all on that game. So yeah, I'll take the forfeit. We'll either do it in a few weeks' time or we'll do it both at the end of the year. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, let's go on to it. We're gonna start with the Cowboys Giants. Giants at home. Who have you got for this one, Will?
Cowboys Giants. Cowboys.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Yeah, I'm going to say the Cowboys. They should win. If they lose, then that really throws the cat amongst the pigeons in regards to the division. So yeah, we're both going to agree with the Cowboys. I'm going to say that it's going to be close, though. I'm going to say it's.
I think it'll be unreasonably close. I think Saquon Barkley will sort of run through you a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to say it 31-27.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that one. I think it'll be a low-scoring game, so I'm going to say sort of maybe 14-10.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Woo. We have now on Thursday night, tonight, 49ers Cardinals. Oh, Will. So
49ers.
So this is 0-0. Will, you can take a chance if you want.
Okay.
Go with Kyler. Kyler's home.
We're 5-3 overall. So, but starting from the season.
So this is from 9 to 6. Well, actually, we'll go 9 to the Super Bowl. We'll do that.
Okay.
Go 9 to the Super Bowl now. So this is the second half.
Fair enough.
So first week of the new era. Are you gonna go Kyler?
No.
Can I tempt you?
No, you cannot. 49ers are going to carry on their unbeaten season and win Super Bowl. No, I'm kidding. So they're going to win.
All right, I'll go 49ers too. Cause
well, it's safe and it's educated. Let's be straight.
Yeah. London Texans Jaguars. We've already
said.
I'm
Houston
going Jags. I'm going Big G. Colts Steelers. This is an interesting one.
I want the Steelers to win, but the Colts will win because the
Steelers
Colts
at home.
Ooh, no, Colts. Colts are winning.
I'm gonna say the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Bold. Yep. Bold statement.
I am being bold.
You want the Colts to win the division? How are they going to win if they can't beat the Steelers?
Because I think your division is such to the point where you will lose. So you'll be 5-3. You'll be 5-4.
5-3, yeah.
Jags are going to beat you. That'll be 5-4. Then
Jags will not beat us.
Then Colts will be 5-3. Your division's.
This is all hypothetical on your thoughts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's true. You watch. It's going to happen.
Incorrect.
Bears, Eagles.
Eagles.
Bears 3-4. Eagles 4-4.
Yeah, true. Eagles.
Eagles at home. I'm going to say Eagles too.
Eagles at home, yeah.
Now, William, we've got the repeat of earlier in the year's Trash Bowl. Dolphins at home against the Jets. Ooh.
Jets. Miami are not winning a game. Trust me.
Whoa. I think I'm going to go to the Jets as well. They've got
Jets,
a lot
more talent. Sam Darnold's way better than Fitzpatrick.
Now we have Vikings, Chiefs at home.
Vikings are a sleeper team. Chiefs without Mahomes. What are you doing?
Are Chiefs going to go 5-4? Is that really going to
happen? They? I said this. They bottle it. I mean, I know they haven't bottled it really, but with Mahomes out, they haven't been performing very well. And the Vikings are a team that you need to watch out for.
I want to know.
We've been saying this for the entirety of the season. We don't really talk about them that much, but they are going to be a team that you need to be careful of.
I really want Mahomes to come back, though. To be fair.
I like Mahomes. I think he's a very good player.
Is he?
Very good leader.
But all right, if Mahomes is back, does that change anything?
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna say the Vikings as well.
Vikings. Yeah, I'm thinking the Vikings.
This is a tight one now. Titans, Panthers.
Panthers, because I want Titans to lose. I want the race to be between Houston and Indianapolis, not between the Tennessee as well. Because if we involve Tennessee, then it's just a three-way race, and then we'll do a Spurs and come fifth in a 4 division.
Yeah, I'll go Panthers too. I quite like.
Yeah, Panthers. Yeah.
But Kyle Allen needs to
up his game. Yeah,
he does. Redskins, Bills. Bills at home against another NFC East.
Yeah, Bills all day.
Bills as well. Redskins are doing awful. Buccaneers, Seahawks.
Seahawks. I don't know why I put so much thought into that.
No, I'm not sure. Neither do I. But to be fair, mad things can happen because they lost to the Baltimore Ravens, but it's the Bucs. So Lions, Raiders. Well, woo, Raiders at home.
Lions.
Oh,
Lions. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say Lions. The Raiders have allowed 8 pass touchdowns in the last 2 games, and especially how the Lions like to play, they might post.
They're going to sling. And I'm going to put this up here now. I apologise to the Lions for my comments at the start of the podcast.
I think you should.
I think the word for it is gross slander.
Yes.
I do apologise, Lions teams.
Yes.
Lions fans.
You should.
I do apologise.
Packers, Chargers.
Packers, Chargers. Is there that much to think about?
No.
Packers.
Yeah. Browns, Broncos. I think I'm going to take the Broncos on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to follow you on that one. Broncos. I don't have faith in the Browns this year.
And the last game, Patriots, Ravens.
Patriots.
100%.
There's no point even us talking about the Patriots because they just win.
I just hate talking about Patriots. So, the games we disagree on are the...
Well, Houston, Jacksonville, we disagree on.
Colts, Steelers.
We disagree on. Houston, Jacksonville, we disagree on.
So, is they the 2 games?
These are the 2 deciding games.
2 games we disagree on.
I think we do disagree on a lot of them, but it's educated.
Earlier on in the season, I was going so much against you to the point where it got me a few wins because you struggled a bit at the start of the year.
I was just going for bold predictions, and it wasn't.
Nowadays, we agree. Teams on bye: Rams, Saints, Falcons, Bengals.
Yeah, a few teams on bye this week, aren't they? Yeah.
So let's hope Dallas Cowboys can pick up a win. But I don't know. I've said the Giants are going to win, but I've got a sneaky feeling that we could be tied up with the Eagles.
Could be close.
Yep.
So this has been Let's Talk Yards with Will Feaver and Max Quinn. Thanks for listening. Keep an eye out for our future videos. Peace.